Extinction usually gets blamed on humans, or climate, or bad luck. But for some animals, the real story is simpler and a lot more brutal. Something bigger showed up, and they couldn't compete. Here are 10 animals that vanished after a larger predator or competitor moved into their world. Number 10. The Steller Sea Cow. This massive, gentle relative of the manatee once grazed the kelp forests of the Bering Sea, growing up to 30 feet long. When sea otters in the region were hunted heavily, urchin populations exploded and devastated the kelp forests the sea cow depended on. Combined with direct hunting once European sailors discovered them, the species was gone within 27 years of being documented by science. A shift in the food chain, paired with new hunters, ended them almost overnight. Number 9. The Dodo. Found only on the island of Mauritius, the dodo evolved with no natural predators for millions of years. When sailors arrived in the 1500s, they brought pigs, rats, and monkeys, all of which raided dodo nests for eggs the birds had never needed to defend. The dodo simply had no evolved response to a threat like that, and within less than a century of contact, it was gone. Number 8. The Great Auk. A large, flightless seabird, once found across the North Atlantic, the great auk had survived for millions of years despite predators like polar bears and orcas, using sheer numbers and remote nesting colonies. But once humans began hunting them intensively for feathers, meat, and oil, their slow reproduction rate, just one egg per year, meant they couldn't recover fast enough. The last confirmed pair was killed in 1844. Number 7. The Caribbean monk seal. Once abundant throughout the Caribbean, these seals had relatively few natural predators in their range. When European colonization brought intensive hunting for oil, combined with new competition for fish stocks from expanding human fishing fleets, their population collapsed. They were declared extinct in 2008, the only seal species known to have gone extinct due to direct human causes in modern times. Number 6. The Thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger. We touched on this one in a previous video. Once the largest carnivorous marsupial in the world, thylacines were already in decline due to competition with dingoes on the Australian mainland thousands of years ago, which is part of why they survived only in Tasmania, where dingoes never reached. When European settlers arrived and blamed thylacines for livestock losses, intensive hunting finished what mainland competition had started. The last known thylacine died in captivity in 1936. Number 5. The woolly mammoth. For most of their existence, mammoths faced few predators capable of regularly taking down a healthy adult. But as the Ice Age ended and human populations expanded northward with increasingly sophisticated hunting techniques, mammoths faced a predator with strategy and tools instead of just teeth and claws. Combined with a warming climate shrinking their habitat, the last mammoth population, isolated on Wrangel Island, died out around 4,000 years ago. Number 4. The cave bear. One of the largest bears to ever exist, cave bears competed directly with early humans for the same cave shelters across Ice Age Europe. As human populations grew and increasingly competed for and even raided those shelters, combined with climate pressures reducing their food sources, cave bear populations collapsed. They disappeared roughly 24,000 years ago. Number 3. The giant ground sloth. Some species grew larger than modern elephants, with claws capable of fending off most predators. But when humans arrived in the Americas roughly 13,000 years ago, ground sloths faced a hunting strategy unlike anything they'd evolved defenses against: coordinated groups using spears and traps. Within a relatively short window after human arrival, ground sloths across the Americas vanished. Number 2. The Irish elk, the largest deer species ever known, with antlers spanning up to 12 feet. While climate change reduced the nutrient-rich vegetation they needed to grow and maintain those enormous antlers, increasing pressure from human hunters, who prized them for meat and antlers, accelerated their decline. They disappeared around 7,700 years ago. And number 1, the saber-toothed cat.
Smilodon. For tens of thousands of years, Smilodon was one of the most dominant predators in the Americas. But as the Ice Age ended, their primary prey, large, slow-moving megafauna like mammoths and ground sloths, began disappearing, partly due to the same human hunting pressure affecting every animal on this list. Smilodon couldn't adapt quickly enough to hunt faster, smaller prey, and as its food source vanished, so did Smilodon, around 10,000 years ago. The most feared predator of its era didn't fall to something bigger directly. It fell because something smarter reshaped the entire world it depended on.
So there you have it. 10 animals that couldn't survive a new arrival in their world. Whether that arrival was a bigger competitor, a smarter hunter, or a chain reaction neither of them saw coming. Which one of these surprised you most? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe to NatureCrest for more deep dives into the animal kingdom's past and present.